till we're done, the 2025 year recap, where we're going to keep talking about what stuff happened this year
Yeah,
till we're done.
yeah. So we're done.
Donald Trump,
Yes, that
he
happened.
that happened again twice. He's did what, seven, 8 wars he's ended.
Yeah, and he ended the war between Moise and Sammy. You know them, the two kids that play the Smack game?
No, I didn't know this.
You don't know these guys? So these
No.
guys went viral. They're two Paki children,
Okay.
and they're from Pakistan. And they play this game where one is seated on the chair, and then you have four guys behind, and one of them would smack his neck, and he has to guess who it is.
Uh-huh.
Gets so intense between Moise and Sammy, who are the two lead characters, that there were memes circulating online that Trump ended that war as well.
Ended that war. Hey, he deserves a Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah, from FIFA, out of anywhere. Yeah, because that's what you want, the Peace Prize from 22 players who have one ball combined.
So, what else happened this year? A lot happened this year. I mean, we went through crypto bubbles and bursts and ups and downs.
Yeah.
We went through shoot, what else was big? Obviously, Israel and Gaza and Palestine and all of that.
Getting smaller, if you know what I
The
mean.
world's getting smaller, as if there's no more room for them to go, but to the sea.
Yeah. I think next step is Israel is gonna go in and build just so they can bomb it again.
Yeah.
These
Or
mother-
the solution is pontoon boats. If we bring enough pontoon boats, we
Yeah.
could load them up on the pontoon boats so they could just float away.
Yeah. Dude, how ridiculous is that war?
Or if there's some older cruise ships that can be procured, and just put the Palestinians on cruise ships and let them constantly sail around the world.
Yeah. Do you notice I said war? Because that's what we've been programmed to say. It's not war, it's fish in a barrel. But what else big happened? I
What
broke my
else big?
leg.
Oh shoot, man, we
My
lost a
leg.
lot of celebrities, and like Ozzy Osbourne died.
Yes, I lost my leg to a fracture. Uh, yeah, John Kreese told Johnny Lawrence to sweep the leg, and that's what happened now.
That's what happened. Hmm.
I'm still in a boot. I don't know if I showed
What?
you.
Let's see this boot. Oh, it looks very mechanized.
Yeah.
There's like a dial on it. Is it like to turn on some bionics?
Yes, so it's to pump air into it so it can support your leg.
Oh, the pump
But as I
air.
like to say, it's what I turn so the gun compartment opens up and I become RoboCop.
You become, gosh.
Isn't it that insane that we think of RoboCop when we think of bionic leg, not Iron Man?
Yeah, yeah.
Because RoboCop was cool, right? Like the way his legs open, like
And then he had that gun that was like, zzz, zzz. It was like
yeah,
an automatic gun.
automatic. What else happened this year? Charlie Kirk died.
Yeah.
Uh, we got to learn who Erica Kirk is, which is something that was not on my bingo card this year.
It's not on your bingo card this year. I know she gets a lot of flack for how she's been grieving
Yeah,
the loss, because she's grieving the hell out of this loss. I gotta say, when it comes to grieving level 99, Erica Kirk is definitely grieving it up with the
yeah.
best of them.
You
Um,
know, you know the stages of grief, right? Like, so it's denial, anger, and then throwing merch at people. It's
people.
very common. Come
No,
on.
so the other side of the spectrum, they'll say, "Oh, she's so strong and she's powering through and etc." But that was still your husband. Like I like to think that, like, if I got shot in the neck, that Michelle would at least be for at least 5 minutes inconsolable.
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
how long would Celeste be inconsolable if you got shot in the neck at a public event, no less?
Maybe 36 hours.
30, he give her
If I'm
30,
lucky.
36 hours.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm lucky, she would grieve for 36 hours, but then she'd be like, good God, he used to spend a lot of money. When she opens up our account for, like after 36 hours and she sees how much money is left, she's gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
So have you seen Dave Chappelle's surprise comedy special he dropped?
I was supposed to see it yesterday, but I crashed. I'm in Boston, by the way. I'm stateside. I'm behind enemy lines.
Oh, you're behind enemy lines. Oh no. He has
Yeah.
left the safeguards of Canada.
Yeah, so I'm behind enemy lines. I have not seen it. I will see it tonight because I heard a lot of good. Because his last one was a bit, I wouldn't say it was more of a TED Talk more than a comedy special for me. But I heard a lot of good things about this one.
So I saw him in Abu Dhabi a couple months ago. So while he was working through the material on that
Yeah.
tour, and so what he's added to this one is he addresses, there's been a lot of flack he's caught from doing the comedy festival in Saudi Arabia. Those comedians that went out there, and so a lot of different political commentators, pundits have basically thrown some of these comedians under the bus. Like, oh, y'all went to Saudi, blah blah. But I love the fact that he goes with this idea of I can speak more. I'm more free to speak in Saudi Arabia than I am in the States, and he really runs that to ground in
Yeah.
the special. I don't want to give away too much because I know you like to watch it without having too much given away. But he does do one of the longest closers in his whole career. So when you talk
Okay.
about TED Talk, you're going to kind of get a little bit of it, but it's worth it because he's a master at the storytelling of bringing stuff that he was joking about in the beginning and through the special. He brings everything back, and
Oh wow.
it hits you, and you're like, "Oh my God, that's so brilliant how you brought it back." So yeah,
So my sister, who's not a big Chappelle fan, she loves him, but she's not like an adamant fan. She's been texting me nonstop for 3 days. Have you watched Dave Chappelle? Like she keeps texting me the same thing over and over. Have you watched the Dave Chappelle show? So I know it's good because that's her every day.
yeah.
Like, have you seen the Chappelle special?
Now I'll compare that to the recent Kevin Hart one. I personally think Kevin Hart has fell off from a stand-up comedy perspective, right? That's
Oh,
just my
I stopped watching him, by the
Yeah,
way.
so I don't find him as funny as his earlier stuff in his career. I don't know where the magic's gone. I know a lot of people like Kevin Hart and he's a likable guy, but then it's like the bits just don't hit like they used to, like 6, 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I stopped watching. So I stopped watching Fluffy, you know him,
yeah,
Gabriel Iglesias.
yeah.
I have stopped watching Russell Peters. I have stopped watching Kevin Hart, and I don't know who else, but there's a bunch of comics that made that list for
Yeah.
me, especially because here's the key component that people miss. I don't, of course, I'm not teaching Kevin Hart how to do stand-up, but comedy is about intimacy. You're tackling these topics from a weird perspective, and you want people to connect to it. So you have to keep it intimate. So, and notice, and I know somebody right now in the comment book again with Louis C.K. Louis, the biggest show he's ever performed was at Madison Square Garden, and he did that once. But the rest of his shows are like 3,000 people. With 3,000 people, you get that intimacy feeling. So when I saw him twice, once in Ohio and once in Toronto, it was that size of a crowd. When you go to stadiums, like what Kevin Hart is doing and Gabriel Iglesias, and it's listen to these shows, you hear more applause than you hear laughter. It's
Mhm.
because you lost that intimacy factor. So I think that's their fall out of grace. It wasn't because they can't be funny anymore. I think Kevin Hart is still one of the most hilarious people out there. It's just that that intimacy is gone in his shows where you get those insane laughters.
Mhm. Whereas Chappelle, and even though he's in an arena, it looks like a boxing ring that takes up the center, and he walks around it, like addressing everybody around the
Yeah.
whole arena. So I do like that he does that. Another comedian that from his specials of to me fallen short of his earlier specials, but I saw him recently live in Abu Dhabi again, was Bill Burr. And his last couple of specials I've not been a big fan of, but when I saw him in Abu Dhabi, I can't wait for that special, what with the
Yeah.
material that he unleashed on us in Abu Dhabi. Because even Michelle, I think went into it not being a big Bill Burr fan, but I think in that moment she really laughed, almost through the whole thing. The guy's pretty funny. So I'm like, when is that going to become a special? So,
You know
but
what show people in Dubai don't like?
uh,
It's the Flintstones.
oh, because of
Oh, no, but the people in Abu Dhabi do.
do Abu Dhabi do
You reminded me of that because of the way you say Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi, yeah.
Oh, man. What else happened?
What else too?
I stopped being a hype. It became an infrastructure. Uh, it was no longer becoming, like, oh, use that app, it's cool. No, it became infrastructure. I've seen so many businesses now where they build a foundation off of AI. So that is cool. What is your view from you being one of the top, and I'm not just saying that to floof your horn.
Kloof.
How do yeah, but
Um,
no, you're one of those top tier security experts in the world. What is your view on that? Are we giving AI too much?
I don't think we're giving it enough. That's um, the here's the thing, it's not going away, right? And so I love it personally. As a creator, I was able this year, I think I made like 13 plus songs where I write the lyrics because I'm still a writer, but
Yeah,
I'll write the lyrics and I'll put in like the different genres to fuse. And sometimes you got to do this like 20, 30, 40, 50 times so you get a song that's like, I like that, right? But I made a lot of songs from AI tools and so forth that I don't play instruments, right? And then
yeah,
for me to go try to communicate my ideas to a band or a studio to say, hey, make this song exist. AI
yeah,
has given me that ability. And what's cool is that earlier, I think a few months ago, there was a number one Billboard song that was an AI generated
yeah,
artist,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's kind of now coming to the real world, right? It's become more real,
yeah,
if that's even a thing to say, it's or if it's cliche. But from a creator perspective, I love the ability to allow me to be more creative, and it's allowed a lot of other people to be more creative. But as far as like, for example, like the actors, they had this actress that's this AI actress. They were trying to get her signed to like agency, and all of Hollywood came out against this, right? So I'm on the fence here because earlier this year, I think there was a Supreme Court case where authors lost, where they said that they could take your works and your books and ingest it and feed it into AIs, and it wasn't copyright infringement.
yeah,
So as an author, I take a little bit of offense to that. But as far as thinking about like when there's like a Johnny Cash mashup song using his voice or an Elvis song, even videos, music videos, but they've been doing this like with the when they did the hologram of like Tupac at that festival and other artists that have been deceased. It's one of those things that do we allow the artists, or if they're dead, let's say the Elvis estate, could they explore, and this is just a brainstorm. I'm not talking about people on the internet making Elvis songs. They should not profit off of Elvis's
yeah,
likeness and so forth. But could his estate work with a producer, and work with an AI and to recreate and make a new Elvis album, for example, right? Now, Elvis fans will probably be split down the middle. You'll have half of them hate it, say it's an abomination. Elvis would roll in his grave. And the other half will say, hey, I welcome to hear Elvis doing new music,
yeah.
even if it's, yeah. So,
No, so I understand your frustration as an author because you've authored many award-winning books but get this. So if I buy your books right now and I read them, that information transformed into me. So if I go and write my own book and it has a bit of nuances from your book, you cannot control that because, you know, copyright infringement has rules. It's not like you just can come in and it's like, oh, he read my book and he wrote a book. That means it's my book. No, there are rules, right?
yeah.
So practically everything that you're putting in the public domain, and that's what you're doing as an author, right? You're writing a book and you're putting it out in the public domain. That belongs to the public. Like, there was this huge backlash in Lebanon over a guy who did a joke about Jesus and people lost their shit. But that story is in the public domain. You cannot get pissed if people take it and make it funny or people make fun of it. And mind you, I believe, but I don't believe that my belief is rooted in somebody respecting what I believe in. No, I don't care what people believe in. That makes me what I believe is a stronger believer because I believe in that in spite of me able to laugh at the stuff they pick up that are funny. So if you if your book reaches 10 million people and 10 million people are reading it, and off of that 50,000 of those transform it into music, another book, or whatever.
A
What,
derivative, yeah.
yeah, where is your copyright there? Nowhere. So AI is the same. It's just that people are afraid because AI can intake like everything that every human who ever lived have learned over the past 10 million years. AI can do that in about 5 hours.
Mhm.
So that's why. But in general, I don't think it's bad. I think your job as an author, much like the real world, when you have to go and be like, oh, this guy wrote a book that is similarly titled like my book. Let me give it to my publishing house, let them read it, and then tell me if it's a copyright infringement. Same with AI. You have to look at AI art, and if you figure out that, oh, wait, this part is mine, absolutely, then you should be able to go
Yeah.
and file for copyright. But other than that, I don't think anybody has a ground. Like it's in the public domain.
Okay.
So
So
what
that's
gets
what
done?
the written works, but let's take the voice and likeness of someone, George
Yeah,
Carlin. There was a guy
yeah.
that did a whole 1 hour
Special.
bit of George
I've
Carlin.
seen it.
And of course, his daughter, I believe, her family members were
Yeah, got it.
outraged at
Yeah.
this. But
Yeah.
what did you think of it, though? Let's just talk about.
Well, okay, so this is where I draw the line because again, I'm using somebody who existed to make something new. But look at um, uh, Bruce Willis. He sold his AI likeness to a company so they could use his because God bless him. I hope, I mean, we
Yeah.
know what he's going through. But he figured, wait, why should my career end here if there's a company who is willing to recreate me in the digital realm and then my family can make profits off of that? So that's his decision.
Yes.
So my view on that is plain and simple. If the artist explicitly says, hey, when I pass, my estate gets control over my digital image, then so be it.
I,
Even if they
I
come
can
out,
concur with that. Yeah.
yeah, even if they come out with shitty content, something that you believe is subpar, guess what? It's the game.
Yeah.
But if the artist gave his consent, then there's no question there. Now, somebody as timeless as George Carlin, as Michael Jackson, as Elvis Presley, um, two truth and a lie, two child molesters and one who is not, and you figure out who's who. These guys, it's up to their estate, really, because they did pass early on in life. So that's their estate. And then much like everything, you wait and see how people react to it. Like, look, Michael Jackson could still be alive today and releases an album, and people are gonna be like, "Oh, what the fuck is that bullshit?" Right? So it's kind of that same game, but it's up to his estate to figure out, hey, would he have wanted this? Would he have wanted his career to go beyond the grave? Um, I think personally, if I was in that position, I would tell my wife, for example, hey, do it for 25 years max, or like 10 years max after I pass, and then that's it.
Mhm.
I think that would be a good balance to strike between the people wanting more out of the artist and you not slipping into the phase where it's like, all right, yeah, that's another AI one.
Speaking of slipping into a phase and someone that's probably not going to be making music for a while, What do you think about the Sean P. Diddy Combs debacle?
I thought that was the pettiest piece of content I have ever seen, but done so deliciously, so professionally. Like, at no point do you think, oh, that's unsubstantiated. No, no, no. Like, everything they mentioned, they have proof, they
Yeah.
have backup, they have evidence for, right? But still, it was petty. You
I
know, it
love
was.
that the 50 Cent had his name on every episode really big, and that they reminded you of the sentence on every episode. They just put it there, convicted of the Mann Act. Da, 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 da. Chappelle does talk about it, just a heads up. It is part of his
Okay.
special.
Have you seen the fact that he, I don't know where I've seen it. I think I've seen it on Netflix. Was it on
Yeah,
Netflix?
it's on Netflix, yeah.
But he also went and sold it to ABC News
Yes, and he was because it's the one that they show in prison.
because it's the one channel that they get to watch in prison. So he wanted him to see it. Like, what the fuck, dude? That was a
That's
class
level
act.
99 pettiness, and I love it. I'm all here for it.
But also, it's a level 99 class act as well. Because look, it could have been an opinion piece, right? Where
Yeah,
he bashes the shit out of him for even the shit that he did to him,
yeah,
50 cents, right? But he does not. And I love that. Like it was journalistically sound.
yep.
It stuck to the facts, no feelings, no emotions, no, oh, fuck that guy. No, no, no. It was Sean Combs allegedly did this on this date. Here is the footage that could be interpreted like that or not. I love that. That was such a class act, but also you could feel that it was done sarcastically. Like the
Yeah.
classiness was done sarcastically, and that's the brilliance of that documentary.
Oh yeah. So another thing that happened this year is that a lot of people claim to saw John Cena fight his last match, but I don't know how they could have saw him because
Yeah,
you
exactly.
you
Because
don't see
I
me.
couldn't. Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts about these older wrestlers coming back out of whatever hiatus, movie careers, whatever paths they took? Because they had a lot of these. Because when I know I stopped watching wrestling long, long ago, but
Yeah,
I'm
me too.
familiar with like The Rock, Stone Cold Steve
Yeah.
Austin, Randy Orton. But all these guys are coming back and they're really old, and for these
I
like
think it's the
farewell tours or whatever.
I think these farewell tours that they're doing pertains more to the fans that used to have their action figures,
Yeah.
right? Because when you talk John Cena, Orton, The Undertaker,
Yeah.
uh,
And The Rock, he went
yeah,
back in the
we
ring.
grew up with their toys, right? Like I remember having an Undertaker toy when I was 16.
Uh-huh.
And so, like, for example, if it was happening anywhere near me, I would go out to see it. And of course, we know it's wrestling, we know it's entertainment, but there's a nostalgic factor to that, and I think they're capitalizing on that. And obviously, it's working. I mean, John Cena's tour was fully sold out across the globe.
Hmm. Yeah.
So I think they fought in Paris, Saudi Arabia, the States, obviously. Logan Paul was part of it. So I like the nostalgic factor to it,
Hmm.
but I mean I'm not really against it. But like the one thing I'm happiest about is Jake Paul's career now. Anthony Joshua.
I think so many people were thrilled because every match we wait for that maybe. Will he finally get knocked out? And that's the draw because it's really about the haters, right? I think all these internet personalities owe a severe debt of gratitude to Howard Stern because Howard Stern as a shock jock laid
Yeah.
the roadmap off that you can get more famous or infamous from the haters than you can from your fans because I think the fact was in his morning show, the fans would only listen for 45 minutes to an hour on their way to work. but his
Yeah.
haters would listen to like 2, 3, 4 hours of his morning show because they were looking for things to
Yeah, to
complain
catch
about.
him in the act and
Bash him, yeah, catch him in that. But that's not what YouTube and all these internet personalities live off of, like clickbait, rage bait, just to upset people and make people like, oh, what did he just say? And and to get the eyeballs and attention. So obviously the Paul brothers have been masters at this. And so a lot of people love him, but also a lot of people hate him, and particularly Jake, with the cockiness and the arrogance. And so people's like, we want to see. But then it was also like, oh, you're beating up on old men, like Mike
yeah,
Tyson. Come
like,
on, Mike
yeah.
Tyson. It's kind of sad seeing the guy come back into the ring at his age. But then all these MMA fighters that had, like that one guy, Askin,
Anderson.
that
No,
took the
Anderson, the lightweight
Anderson.
champion of the world. I met this guy in Kuwait, by the way.
Okay,
Uh, he was opening Gold Gym in Salmiya, and Anderson,
Silva.
Anderson Silva. Yeah, yeah,
Anderson
he's
Silva.
the lightweight champion of the world in
Yeah,
MMA. Yeah. Um, but here's the thing. Like, I give credit where credit is due. I know people are saying, "Oh, that fight was scripted. Like, they had no knockouts before the third round, blah blah blah." No. Like, Anthony Joshua absolutely decimated Jake Paul, no doubt. But also, Jake Paul is not somebody you can take down easily.
yeah.
Like, let's agree on that. Like,
Yeah.
there
Oh,
could have been,
he is conditioned. He is built.
yeah,
I'm not doubting his work ethic, his
yeah,
the training
exactly.
team, the staff he has around him. That's legit, right?
Yeah,
So he's in there legit. And now, regardless of scripting and the signals to knock out and so forth,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
all that aside, when it came to, like, he fought the Fury guy, right? And then the
Yeah,
Fury guy won. So he has lost before, but he didn't get knocked out.
yeah,
So with Anthony Joshua, there's this one punch that they show on a lot of the videos where they say, "Oh, Jake could have knocked him out." No, Jake hit Anthony Joshua with all he had in that punch, and
yeah,
Anthony Joshua just ate it and continued fighting.
yeah,
It was like, bap, like, okay, he was still going, but once he had the opening and he gave Jake all he had, broke
yeah,
his jaw in two places.
yeah. Here and here. I
Yeah,
saw the footage. It was insane.
yeah.
But I mean,
But he made
kudos.
money regardless. He's making money, and so as a marketing genius, as a as a businessman, he's pulling in the bank. Love him or hate him, he
Yeah.
he he made a huge payday. And what was the?
I saw somebody, a comic yesterday saying uh like exactly what you were saying. He goes, I hate that rhetoric. Like, love him or hate him, he made money in the bank. It's money in the bank, right? He goes, you could say that about Hitler. He goes, love him or hate him, he had several properties.
He had
You
several
know?
properties.
But no, genuinely, I think it was $100 million each
Yeah,
out of that fight, which is insane. Like, anywhere
36
north,
minutes, $100 million
anywhere,
dollars.
if you make anywhere north of $10 million, it's already insane for what, like half an hour of
Yeah.
playtime in the ring. But these guys, I think they walked away. I think it was 100 million total for both, or it was 100 million per head.
I think I think Jake made over 90 million easily just himself, and there was a lot of talk about Anthony Joshua because he's from the UK. Half
Yeah.
of about 40-some% of his stuff is going to taxes, obviously, so he
Yeah.
didn't get as big of a payday as Jake did. But the other knockout, or rather the other loss that everybody on the internet has been talking about, is my boy Andrew Tate.
Oh yeah, that was you know what I thought when I saw him lost?
Uh,
When he lost, I thought maybe he should have masturbated a couple of times before that.
He
Because
didn't have any sparkling water. They were giving him regular water on the side of the ring, and that's probably what was his undoing. Had it been sparkling water, he would have been fine. He would have been energized. He would have been a warrior. But yeah, I think after,
because
was
that's
it the
his
second
shtick,
round, he
right?
started gassing out. He had no stamina after the second round.
Because that's his entire shtick. Stop masturbating. Like, get work on yourself. I'm like, dude, I mean, you clearly didn't and worked on yourself, and that got you knocked the fuck out. Maybe you should have masturbated. That would have giving you a
So
bit of an edge.
the internet's been saying since both these guys lost that
Yeah.
maybe the world is starting to
To readjust.
readjust. The world is healing now, now that these two guys have lost.
No,
Yeah,
but like I commend, look, Andrew Tate is 40, 40, 42,
something like
39
that.
years old. 39 years old.
Okay.
I mean, props to him. I mean, when he walked into that rink, I was looking at him. I'm like, whoa, my guy, like at 39, you're looking shredded. Like I'm 39, bro, and I'm nowhere near what he looks like.
You don't have a gun or something?
Yeah. But no, no, he came in. You could feel like, okay, that's a wrestler's body. Like
Yeah.
that's a fighter's body. It wasn't like, oh, he's just ripped. No, no. You could feel like, oh my God, like he's and Jake Paul as well, like as we said, he earned his spot. Whatever. You could put him, you can place him last when it comes to boxing,
Yeah.
but he still earned that spot.
Yeah.
He could have before people used to think he's a showman, like, oh, it's not real fighting what he's doing. I think now you could say, well, he is a real boxer, but I'll place him at the end, which is fine.
Yeah. The
I think,
last in the class of doctors is still a doctor.
yeah. So both these guys are I think they earned a bit of respect for the tenacity to go walk into a rink and get beat up by people who are way more qualified than they are,
Yeah.
right?
Or
Andrew
in
Tate,
Tate's case, younger and taller.
yeah, Andrew Tate has not wrestled or played MMA in how many years now? Like 8, 9
Yeah.
years?
Been a while.
That's not an easy thing to, because you lose that edge. When you're fighting every day of every year, you're edgy, right? You react faster. This guy has been driving Porsches and Ferraris and
Oh, Bugattis, man.
yeah. And you lose that edge. To be fair, you do lose
Yeah.
that edge. No matter if, even if you go to boot camp for 6 months prior to
Or
the show.
Romanian prison.
Yeah, that's not gonna bring it back.
That's not gonna bring it back. So what other big events happened this year? We lost a
Um,
lot more other celebrities. I mentioned Ozzy. Was you a fan of Ozzy Osbourne? Did you have like a
yeah,
favorite Ozzy or Black Sabbath song?
no, not really. I just loved Kiss in general. Like
Kiss.
I would watch it.
He
Yeah.
was not in Kiss.
Oh, Ozzy.
Ozzy Osbourne, man, come on, Black Sabbath.
Sorry.
But we did lose the guy from Kiss too. So
Yeah,
we lost the
that's why.
yeah.
I Val Kilmer
Oh, dude, yeah.
and Diane Keaton are the two losses that I kind of like. Oh,
Yeah. What was your favorite Val Kilmer movie?
Batman Forever, obviously.
Batman Forever. I'm torn between The Saint was pretty good for folks that
Oh,
have
The
seen this
Saint was.
The Saint.
Oh, okay, you want to talk serious? I have two favorite movies on opposing ends of his, right?
Okay,
So
Top
one being
Secret.
Top Secret, obviously, a
Yes,
classic.
that underwater bar fight
Yeah.
scene.
With the bar, my favorite scene is the car that barely touches another one, like
Yeah.
bumper to bumper, and it whole explodes. Um, Val Kilmer, The Saint is pretty phenomenal.
Heat
And I loved that actress. I keep forgetting her name that played his co-star.
in The Saint.
Yeah,
Wasn't it
what's her-
Elizabeth Shue?
yes,
Yeah.
because she also was in that movie where they made
She was in Karate Kid.
no, no, forget Karate Kid. I love Karate Kid. But she also was the scientist in that movie where they make
Kevin Bacon Invisible.
Kevin
Invisible
Bacon.
Man or something like that. Yeah.
No, no, it wasn't called that. It was called Hollow,
Hollow Man.
whatever,
Something like that.
maybe. But that, like, so I love her. Like I like her in those movies better than Karate Kid because in Karate Kid she's like, oh, uh, he didn't do much acting, which is sad because it's
Mhm.
such a classic. But yeah, so Val Kilmer, yeah, The Saint was phenomenal. The story writing, the characters he takes, and then my favorite parts of the movies is the motive for every character, where he tells the story of the saint and what was that saint known for. That was a world-class movie, I think.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
definitely it's sad to see him go. Man,
Gene
who
Hackman.
was Gene Hackman? Gene
Yeah.
Hackman. Uh,
Uh,
Hoosiers, a classic movie with Gene Hackman, and what was the other guy that played alcoholic in the movie? Um, oh goodness, it's gonna kill me. Dennis Hopper, Gene Hackman, Dennis Hopper, and Hoosiers, which is a classic film. But one of the more modern action films is Enemy of the State, where Gene Hackman played the former NSA analyst guy, opposite of Will Smith's character. Love Enemy of the State. Good little film with John Voight as a great villain. Um, what is some other Gene? Of course, the French Connection. There's a lot of other classic films Gene Hackman was part of, uh, but uh, but of course, all of the South Park references to Gene Hackman, and it was, I think, the South Park Team America movie. They had the Gene Hackman bit in that too, but no, Gene Hackman, yeah, and then it was a weird circumstances, right? It was him and his wife were both found dead, like it was like a suicide thing or overdose on pills or something.
I don't know.
Yeah, because it was him and his wife both found they were both found dead.
Oh, that was last 2 weeks ago.
No, no, no. You're thinking of the filmmaker.
Yeah, Renee something.
God dang it. I'm gonna have to pull it up now. But yeah, his son slashed their throats. Filmmaker killed by son. It's gonna kill me because I see his Rob Reiner.
Rob Reiner. Yeah,
Who,
yeah, yeah.
When Harry Met Sally, a bunch of other films he's known for. But yeah, his son,
Spinal Tap.
Spinal Tap. Yeah. He
Yeah.
probably killed him for Spinal Tap too. That was probably what.
You know what I discovered the other day, and I thought, oh, that movie Jim would love. It's called The Wishmaster.
The Wishmaster. Who's in it?
Okay, I don't know these guys. I don't even
So it's a
care.
porn.
Wait, so it's this 1998 movie
Okay.
where this actor plays the devil who is in prison,
Okay.
and then you come to him and you say, oh, he goes, I'm the wish master. I can make it happen. So this guy, like in jail, is upset that his lawyer, like, oh man, I wish my lawyer can go fuck himself. And then the wish master goes, be careful what you
You
wish
wish
for.
for
Wish
no.
is granted. And then he goes into the room, to meet his lawyer in solitude, right? And the lawyer starts speaking, and all of a sudden he goes, oh, and then And then you see him, the lawyer, perched down on the table,
Uh-huh.
find his legs go up, and then they're spinning, and then you start seeing him rocking like he's fucking himself. That movie was done unironically, but it was done in one and two. So it's Wishmaster 1, Wishmaster 2. And you should watch it, Jim, because it to me, it gets the room status.
Okay.
You know the room?
Uh-huh.
It gets that status with me.
Okay.
Which, by the way, I went and saw the room
Mhm.
in Hamilton, where I live, and they had the actor who played Mark in the
Uh-huh.
movie, and he
Uh-huh.
was selling merch. And that was one of the funniest experiences I've ever been at. Because, so The Room is a cult movie made by
Mhm.
Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah.
Uh, so the guy who plays Mark, Greg something, was sitting there with a microphone, and he would tell us behind the scenes of, oh, you see there why we're standing there at the end of the stairs and we're not leaving while they clearly we should have left these two characters alone. It's because these stairs are fake. They lead to nowhere. So we couldn't leave. So they were just standing there awkwardly while the scene was happening.
Uh-huh.
Um, uh, so, there are so many gaps in the movie. Obviously, it's a bad movie, right? So, one of them being that they told Tommy Wiseau, hey, we need to make a photo shoot of you and your girlfriend in the show, in the movie, so we can put it in the frames. And he goes, no time for that. Just put any frame. So, they found this frame and props that had a spoon in it, right? So every time that frame with the spoon is on screen, people yell spoon, and then everybody brought in like a big plastic bag of spoons.
Uh-huh.
They would just throw them in the theater.
Uh-huh.
Spoon, and they would start throwing the spoon in the room. Characters disappear mid plot
Hmm.
because the actor had like he had to go back to his real job and filming took too long. So when his last time appears on screen, everybody goes, "Bye, see you never." Like it was so funny, right? That movie, The Wishmaster, I think gets that level of cult movie fame, especially in my book. You should watch it.
Okay.
Maybe you could link a Wishmaster clip of him telling, "Oh, I wish my lawyer can fuck himself" at the end of this
I will
episode.
put that at the end of this episode.
Yeah,
So we had a lot of losses, but there've been some gains this year.
yeah.
And the biggest gain of any man on the planet, like before this happened this year, I would say the biggest gain for men was when Kevin Federline got Britney Spears pregnant, right? To me, that was the previous win for men in relationships. You know, usually the woman takes half of the man stuff when they separate and so forth. But Kevin Federline not only had a couple of kids with Britney Spears, but was able to raise those boys and take probably lots of money from Britney Spears.
Yeah.
The next person up on the docket, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be probably one of the biggest and longest prenups ever, is Travis
Taylor
Kelce.
Swift. Yeah, Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce got engaged, and of course, everybody's anticipated one of the biggest weddings of the year in 2026. But what are your thoughts on what did she say? It was the quarterback and the cheerleader, or whatever the analogy she used, getting together.
Oh, your English teacher and your gym teacher
You're a
got
gym
married.
teacher and English teacher. Okay, that's what she said. I'm good that
Yeah.
you're a Swiftie there.
My wife is,
Your
and
wife.
by the way, genuinely speaking, I know people like to hate just because she's big and they think automatically I'm not gonna follow the trend. If you watch her docu-series that she released now, it's 6 episodes. I
Mhm.
think you should watch it, Jim.
Okay.
The way she treats her staff,
Yeah, I saw those clips. Yeah.
it's not something it's not something that is common. Somebody as big as her, um,
The
like when she
handwritten
has her
notes.
backup, dude, when her backup singer came to Taylor Swift's birthday, you know how she introduced her? She goes, "Oh, that's let's say her name is Kylie. That's Kylie. We sing together." What? You're the star. You know what I mean? Like she doesn't have to do any of that, right? She could just say, "Oh, she works with me," right? But no, she likes to be like, "We work together, we sing together." That's not something common. She's very kind. She deserves her fame. She's hardworking. Her music is I mean, obviously you don't have to like everything she makes, but she does make some great music, right?
Mhm.
Uh, and she's a good person, so I don't understand the people hate of her. Now, the thing I see that is different between her and Britney Spears is Britney Spears married somebody who was well below her.
Well, below
Yeah, and I'm not
status.
saying that because he's a dancer. I'm saying that because you could tell he's a dude, saggy pants.
He was a
Does
douchebag.
Yeah, he's a douchebag. Travis Kelce is a hard-working athlete who plus, to be fair, like he has 300 million, she has 1.2 billion. Could you really tell who's richer than the other? I mean, with $10 million, I can already live very
Yeah,
comfortably. So if I have 30 or 40 million or
yeah.
200
I mean,
million,
it's kind of like a Jay-Z and Beyonce because they're both billionaires in their own right, but Beyonce's got a couple more billion than Jay-Z does.
yeah, but what difference does it
What
make?
does it make?
I think their prenup is just gonna be, hey, like your stuff, my stuff, my stuff. All right, cool, let's do this.
Hmm.
It's not like he needs money for her to level up, and she obviously does not need him. But I think they're both well off. Travis Kelce is a kind man. I love his podcast with his brother. I'm an avid listener to it. They're very kind. They're very good men. It's really different. I cannot make that comparison in good conscience and say, oh, I think it's similar to that case. There's nothing similar.
No, but
Travis
the
Kelce,
point being is Kevin Federline,
yeah,
obviously Brittany was a tremendous upgrade,
yeah,
whereas
exactly.
even with Travis Kelce, by the same relational standards, if you will, it's still a tremendous upgrade to be marrying a billionaire.
Yeah, but it's not like he's not on track to make that. He
No,
already
no,
has
no. And
businesses.
Kevin Federline was a douchebag,
Yeah, exactly. That's
yeah,
my
and he
point.
was
So it's
not,
just
like Travis Kelce, an established top of his
yeah.
game in his profession. So
So today you might say Travis Kelce is marrying up, but I think in 5 years you will say, oh no, he just got married.
he's a man.
Because he just started a restaurant, he owns a couple of other businesses. So it's
Mhm.
not like he's your typical jock that just gets
And
money.
one of the things I'll give them is that, the talk about him retiring and them just taking time to actually have family, it
Yeah.
does, I think,
Yeah.
I wish him well. So,
Yeah. That no, in that sense, I don't think it's a fair comparison because again, douchebag, hardworking athlete who's smart, he has a great brain, and he's already invested in several businesses and he owns several businesses. Really different. That guy clearly married Britney and goes, oh, I knocked her up. Fuck yeah, like done. I'm done. I'm
that's
done working.
exactly what he did.
I'm done working, right? He
Yeah,
thought
I
I'm
don't
done.
have to dance no more.
Yeah, whereas Travis Kelce is kind of like, okay, we're building something together.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So what else? What else was in your year? Let's we've been talking celebrities, but what is some of the big things that happened in your 2025?
Well, everything. I started a marketing agency with my friend, and I became a partner in a production house that we're doing like a big documentary, which I cannot talk about right now. Um, I also bought a house, and I almost became gay, but that got pushed back to 2026.
2026. Well, how
Yeah.
did you almost? Because I mean,
Uh,
was it just the tip?
yeah, I almost got a Tesla. So
Oh,
but I pushed it to early 2026.
okay.
You know what? You know what it struck me?
I
You
mean,
know,
because it used to be a Toyota Prius was
yeah,
the gay car. So you're saying a Tesla is a gay car now?
yeah, absolutely. But it's very convenient. I like it, which is what makes it gay. Because you want a car where you go, oh shit, I have to clean my carburetor before I'm able to drive it today, right? Tesla, it's like, "Huh, I have to plug it, peak, and I'm waiting for it to charge. It's very I'm not saying gay in the bad way. I'm saying it's very soft. You can't be hardcore when you're driving a Tesla. Maybe
Mhm.
that's a better word to use. It's soft. It's not gay. It's soft.
So,
But get this. Um uh you know what I noticed? That owning a Tesla is like having a handicap.
okay.
Because notice this, and I noticed it in the States, in Boston here, where I am at the mall. The charging bays for electric vehicles, especially Teslas, are right in the front of the parking lot, where usually you would
The
keep the
handicap.
handicap spot.
Because they got to be close to the power source.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, you're one of those guys. You don't have a blue tag on your car, but it's okay. You get to park here.
You know what they need to do with the Teslas? If the next iteration, you know how you
What?
got the people in the power wheelchairs or the whatever
Yeah.
strollers or whatever you want to call them, but the power chairs, they need to have a power chair to where you move out of the Tesla into a power chair.
Yeah. By the way, some companies do that now. Where your car, where your power seat hooks up, you go on a ramp into your vehicle, and then it clicks in place, and then you can control a lot of the functions of the car through your mini screen, especially for people who have limited mobility in one hand. Like, say they have a full mobility in the left hand, but the right one isn't so much. So the blinkers, the horn, that would pop up on the screen within reach, and then you can drive the vehicle using
But
your
how can you drive and masturbate at the same time in your car?
well, that's the problem. The sciences have not put their
Science
mind.
has not figured that out yet.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my year. What else? I'm so grateful for so many things. Like I met great people. I'm gonna be working with a top producer on something else that I will announce in time.
When
Um,
are you going to come across a producer that does epic fantasy films so I can get my book series made into a film series?
well, soon, promise. 2026 is the year that we make Mathematica Magicae happen.
Oh man, I think it would be bigger than Harry Potter, at least for its age group. Well, then again,
I
Harry Potter
remember
is all ages, I
the,
guess
the
now.
book I read fully was your first one, and then the second and the third, life happens. But I did like how the science, the math is there, but very subtle. Like it's not overpowering. It
Yeah,
doesn't. You know the number blocks that kids now show. I'm number seven. I'm number eight. It didn't feel. It felt
six,
like a
seven.
real. Yeah, 6, 7. It felt like a real world scenario that could happen in a parallel universe where magic is real,
Yeah.
right? Like I love that about your books. But that 6, 7 thing, I keep telling my wife, I equate that to homeless people. You know, when a homeless man comes to you and he's like, when you take a shit, they take it and they make people out of it, and he just walks away. That's 6, 7.
That's,
That's 6, 7.
there's been so many stupid things. I mean, it's like every year. Remember a few years ago, it was like the Tide Pods where kids were swallowing or drinking the Tide Pod stuff. Then I think there was the planking at different stupid
Yeah, planking in
places.
different places. There
And before
was
that, it was the Harlem Shake. Remember the Harlem Shake? I actually liked the Harlem Shake. I thought there was some
I
really
did
neat.
that at Harlem Shake.
You did that. You participated.
And
um,
there was the mannequin challenge.
the Mannequin Challenge. Yeah.
I also got into baseball this year.
Okay. Oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah. You lost.
yeah, fuck you. I also got into sports collectibles this year. I started collecting baseball cards,
Okay.
and also I branched out into collecting a brand new set that came out by Fleer, Upper Deck, if you know the
Hmm.
company. They make all the major sports cards. They made one for DC, so Superman cards.
Hmm.
I'm trying to master set my Superman collectibles.
Hmm.
So I'm a 38% uh there.
Yeah, they
I
say that the collectibles market is like a multi-billion dollar
is
industry
it
because
is.
like
Pokemon alone is a
Pokemon.
multi-billion dollar
Yeah,
industry.
and then the
Pokemon
trading
alone.
sports memorabilia, the sports cards, and just all these collectibles are an insane business. I always tell people that I don't want to get off in a tech discussion, but the NFTs, if they ever come back, they're going to tokenize all these things. Where if you have to have the certificate of authenticity, like Fleer should have a blockchain, and every one of those cards are tied
Yeah.
to a token on the blockchain. So when you get the card, you go on their website, you register, so that when you register ownership of the cards, that way
Yeah.
when it comes time for you to trade that card, the dealers then can check the blockchain, the Flair blockchain, to prove the authenticity of the card instead of having to do all these certifications, PSA ratings, and so forth. It can
Yeah.
all be done on the blockchain when they decide to tokenize those type of things.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I think that's the only worth for NFTs, which is just authenticating at the back end. I think the whole project in terms of selling collectibles as NFTs, we could say pretty confidently, at least for now, with what we've seen and what we've done and the exercises that were done, it failed.
oh yeah.
But as you said,
Digital art failed, but I believe the real world asset being tokenized and proven the
yes,
authenticity is the utility that it's supposed to have had,
yeah,
but it just got
kind of
well,
like
it got
Logan
co-opted
Paul.
by people trying to get rich quick and make all these damn digital art pieces and try to make a quick buck. and that kind of ruined it. It's kind of like once that taint's there, you can't. It's hard to get rid of it. So
Yeah,
they won't call it NFTs, but they'll use the word what they're using in the stock market. They're talking about tokenization of stocks and assets. They're using the word tokenization, but it's NFTs. It's the same technology.
kind of like what Logan Paul did with his NFT project, which I love the concept of, which was you buy 99 Polaroids that are original, and each one is tokenized.
Hmm.
So you get the physical asset and it's tokenized, and then that tokenism is used as a structure for a company, where you have people voting depending on how much tokens they have. They could vote on what to do with the common pool of money that the company owns.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. So for my year, man, so I got married
from
at the
here,
end of 2024, and then going into 2025, I just recently celebrated my 1 year anniversary. I got these boxes behind me because I'm looking to relocate overseas to another place other than the Middle East. So that's still in the works. So that's why I got the boxes behind me. Man, I had a very productive year. Ever since COVID, 2020, I did a book called Boosh, which was about what I did to do all the things that I do, right? To show people that you can be very productive. And every year since then, I've been more and more productive. I keep overachieving more and more. Like this year alone, I did just from the IT cyber world, I did 23 certifications. That's like two certifications a month, right?
yeah.
And I did not start the year going, oh, I want to do 23 certifications. It just happened throughout the year. I'd see someone on LinkedIn say, oh, they just got this certification. I'd be like, well, let me go get it. And I go pay for it, test that, and be done, and I have another cert. And I kept doing that over and over and over. Then I watched, I think, over 100 films this year, both in theaters and through streaming services. I watched 50 something series episodes. So I watched a lot of things on series, comedy specials. I think I only did like 14. I'm very selective on comedy specials simply because not all of it hits for me. And so, but yeah, I did a lot of entertainment. I think PlayStation wrap up this year said I played over 600 hours of video games this year. And the big one, the travel to, was it 26, 27 countries this year? So I did a lot of travel. Did a lot this year. Only published one book, or I'm sorry, Michelle published her first book, but I was a contributor on the book,
Yeah.
and I bought a bunch more domains. I think I own over like 60, 70 website domains that I've yet to stand up. But Grizzly Bear Conflict Manager is my favorite one that I hope I will get done in 2026.
I love that. I
Uh,
love that concept. I don't want to give away too much, but that was one of the funniest concepts I've ever heard on a domain and what it does and why
yeah,
it does.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I think there's good energy in the air in general. Things are happening. I love the fact that I received a couple of messages from a couple of friends in Canada who were saying, "We believe 2026 is going to be your year, the it year that may." So I'm like, "Whoa!" Like, so everybody feels that way. So we started this podcast in 2025 as well. It was off of a conversation where we said, what if we start a podcast until somebody
And
says,
we're
we're
done.
done?
You just said it.
That's why I paused.
Yo, check this out. Yeah, check it out. I'm getting it on with my sister-in-law, right? Next thing I know, the bitch drops fucking dime on me. Attempted rape. I got this loser for a fucking PV, and it's my third fucking hit.
That's fucked up, man. Check this out, man. I get stopped at a light. They check in the trunk. I get busted for a bogus search. My lawyer plea bargains 3 to 5 when I should have fucking walked. Punk ass motherfucker should go fuck himself.
You're absolutely right.
Oh, you unlucky dude, man. Who you talking to, you fucking faggot?
I'm talking to someone who doesn't belong here.
Yo, man, I'm gonna do you a big favor. Because you're new. And you're ignorant. And not rip the fucking tongue out of your mouth for talking to me.
I'm going to do you a favor, because you're an unjustly imprisoned man. I would like to see your lawyer pay for all the pain and suffering he's put you through, yes.
Yo, man, are you tripping? Who the fuck are you?
I'm the Wishmaster. I make wishes come true.
Oh, yeah? Well, you better wish for some fucking sense real quick.
I believe you said you'd like to see your lawyer go fuck yourself. I could arrange that.
Yo, man, you ain't playing for real. My boy here's
I
gonna take
only play for real.
What's in it for you?
Your soul.
Yeah, fuck it, man. Make it happen.
Great. Let's go, man. Your lawyer's here. Wants to see you.
Tell your friends.
Come on. I said, come on. Get him out of here, man.
Hello, Robert. How's it going?
You tell me.
Well, actually, very well. Oh, yeah, have a seat, please. I think that I may have some good news for you. Now, something about your case didn't sit right with me. It was the search. Wasn't handled properly. I did some digging, and I uncovered a procedural screw-up that's potentially very damaging to the DA's office. I think that, well, I can get all the charges against you dropped.
Wait a minute, back up, man, back up. What are you telling me? You can get all the charges dropped?
That's right.
What are you saying, man? You saying that I can go free?
That's right, Robert. And, of course, you know, with my connections at the police department and the DA's office, well, you know, I could... Oh! God damn, what was that?
Are you okay, man?
Yeah. Whew. Excuse me. Okay. Right, yeah, we were... Oh!
You okay?
Oh, God. Okay, now, we were talking...
Yo, Mr. Good! He's sick, man, he's sick. What the fuck? What the fuck is he doing, man? What about my case, man? What about my case, man?